Up, guys? Welcome to today's live stream. Today we are going to take a look at Bitcoin. Obviously, with this massive breakout that we had today, I want to take a look at Bitcoin. We're also going to be looking at the altcoin market to see if we can find any interesting setups. And at the end of the live stream, I'm going to go through the Forex market to see if we have any setups in the Forex market. As well as looking at the news events this week to see if we have any major news event that we should be worried about. All right, guys, let's jump into it. And right after, we'll take a look at Bitcoin. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, I'm Libs42, and this is the Burb Nest YouTube channel where we deliver high quality trading education and tools for you guys to be able to take your trading to the next level and live that trader's lifestyle where you're going to be able to trade independently and consistently profitable, which is the goal, right? For everyone, we want to be making money, and we want to be making that money consistently long term. And that is our goal here. We want to teach you how to reach that level of trading. It's not going to be easy. Nothing worth doing in life is easy, and trading is particularly hard. It's probably going to be the hardest thing that you're ever going to try to master. So keep that in mind. If you're new in this game, if you've started trading, keep that in mind. It's going to take a couple of years. It's going to be a lot of work, but at the end, it's going to be worth it. Look at me. I went from, nothing to be able to have my office at home, work whenever I want, how much or how little I want, and basically do whatever I want with my time. And that for me is true financial freedom, to be able to do whatever you can and will do with your time. All right, with that said, let's look at Bitcoin. And of course, if you like the content that I'm giving you guys, please hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. We're also running a pretty awesome giveaway in the Burbness community, so check out the description and the link in the description below. I'm pretty sure there should be a link to a tweet. Like that tweet, retweet, and comment on that tweet, and you'll be able to be in on the giveaway, which we're giving away. I think it's $700. You're able to win $700, and you're also able to win a subscription that's doubled, so double the subscription time and all fun stuff. So check that out. We're going to be releasing winners on a daily basis. So definitely check that out and follow the Burbness Twitter account. All right, enough of that. Let's look at the important stuff here. We got Bitcoin, right? So I have two charts here I want to show you guys. I've posted this on Twitter as well. So if you're interested in this type of content, you better follow me on Twitter. I'm at Libs42 over on Twitter. Probably somewhere in the description below if QBS has added that, and which probably has. All right. So we have basically in all markets, right? You have two market conditions in all markets. It doesn't matter if it's crypto, forex, indices, bonds, stocks, whatever. You have two market conditions, and that is a ranging market, which goes sideways, and a trending market. Now, a trend could obviously go to the upside or to the downside. A sideways market, a range, is basically equal highs and equal lows. Price moves in a confined area sideways, right? Now, of course, you might have ranges inside trends, and trends inside ranges and smaller ranges within a bigger trend, all that kind of stuff. That's a little bit more advanced that I want to go into in another live stream. The fact that price action is fractal. So if you see a trend, you're going to be able to zoom in on that trend and find ranges and smaller trends within those trends. So maybe you have a bullish trend on the weekly. You zoom in on the daily, and you'll see that you have multiple trends, uptrends and downtrends and ranges on the daily. And it's going to go like that all the way down to the 1 minute, right? So price action is fractal. And that's also why When you have a trend following system, let's say, I'm trading based on the, actually, let me show you a good example of this on the 1 hour a trade, right? So I'm usually trading on the daily and the 4 hour, right? So I'm usually trading on a daily and the 4 hour, and that has nothing to do, well, it has something to do with that, but it has not much to do with, the profitability of this system on those timeframes. It has more to do with the fact that my personality and my trading style and my lifestyle is much better suited to trade based on 4 hour candle closes, right? Because the way I'm working is I might have my son at home while I'm working, so I'll do like a 30-minute market scan in the morning while he's maybe watching the TV, and I'll see that, right, in 2 hours the 4 hour candle is going to close. So I'll take a break. I'll go out on a walk, or I'll do some workout, or whatever, maybe have lunch, and then in 2 hours I'll be back, look at that 4 hour candle, and depending on where that 4 hour candle is closing, I'll take the trade, right? Now, if I were trading the lower time frames, let's say I'm scalping on the 5 minute or the 15 minute, and I'm basing my trades on 15-minute candle closes, obviously it's going to be 15 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of time that I need to, actually spend at the screen. So with my life situation, it is better to wait for 4 hour closes. But I'll show you how the system I'm trading is tradable on all time frames, right? On all time frames, from the daily, from the weekly, all the way down to the 1 minute, because of the fact that price action is fractal, just like I described in the beginning. So you look here on the 4 hour, right? So on the 4 hour for Luna, we have a pretty decent SR level right here. So we'll add a box here. We're going to add a box right here, right? So you can clearly see that it definitely has some, it looks like a pretty good horizontal support and resistance area with resistance here, breakout, support, breakdown, resistance, and a breakout. Now, obviously, using the 4 hour trading system, I wouldn't be able to trade this because my trading system is based on going long on rounded retests, right? So if this is the breakout, and this is the retest, right? So we have the breakout right here, and this is the retest. This is a rounded retest, and that's how I like to trade on the 4 hour. Now, obviously, if you look at the okay, guys, I just want to answer one question here. Like this guy comes out and says it was expected, and show us your position that proves it. Thank you, guys. You gotta understand. 99% of all the stuff on YouTube, all the thumbnails, it's clickbait, right? Like, I can't say that I expected Bitcoin to break out because nobody knows. You're reading the future, but we're on YouTube and we need to have titles and thumbnails, in for the environment that we're in. So you guys are smart. You know this, right? You know this. Focus on the content that I'm giving you, because honestly, what I'm giving you right now, you can trade this. You can use this system, have a consistent approach using the system, and you will be making money. If you focus on the little things, which has no importance at all in your trading, you're not going to come far in trading, or probably not in life at all. So focus on what's actually important here. And what's actually important right here is you should be taking notes on this. You should be trying this. You should be backtesting this like I've been doing for the last couple of years, and I'm making consistent gains. So take notes on this. Maybe watch the replay. Use the backtesting template that you probably have from our previous videos. Test this out, guys. It's very, very simple, and you'll be able to make money. All right. So we have this level here on the 4 hour, right? This wouldn't be a trade on the 4 hour because there's no rounded retest, right? There's no rounded retest. There's just one immediate retest right here, and then it continues higher. So there's no trade. But again, price action is fractal, right? So you see the rounded retest on the 4 hour right here. Now, what happens if we go into the 1 hour? Will we be able to see something similar, right? And also remember that the backtesting template is in the exclusive resources channel inside the Nest Club. And I don't have a link right now. You should be able to get in Get in there. Love comments like this one. Thank you for this. I know, like, we have a couple of trolls, but I know that majority of you guys are actually getting helpful knowledge from my live streams, and that's why I love doing this, because I know that my system works. I know that the knowledge I'm giving you and the education I'm giving you actually works, because I have so many students that are giving like putting out insanely good progress, right? The development of my students is insane. Some of them are trading much better than me, which is just, it's mind blowing. Anyway, let's focus on what, what I'm trying to say here. Now, rounded retest on the 4-hour, price action and fractal. I'm also using the 20 EMA and the 50 EMA on the 4-hour. What if I just zoom into the 1-hour, repeat everything, do everything exactly the same on the 1-hour, but instead of looking at the 4-hour 20 EMA, I'm going to be adding the 1-hour 20 and 50 EMA, just like I would be trading the 4-hour. Now, look at this, right? That immediate retest on the 4-hour that would not be tradable is a beautiful rounded retest of the breakout level on the 1-hour, confluent with the 20 EMA and the 1-hour. Now you add the stochastics RSI, and you'll see here that you'll get a 1-hour bullish engulfing candle right here. I don't like that wick, but whatever. Let's try not to focus on the details, but the overall picture, right? So you have a 1-hour bullish candle right here engulfing the previous candle. Stochastics RSI is below 30. We don't have to necessarily have a bull cross, even though that is adding an extra layer of confidence and an extra layer of confidence in this setup. So you see that breakout level almost perfectly hit right there, 20 EMA in the 1-hour. You add the fibs, you'll see that it hit the 50 EMA right here, very nicely. And that's the setup, right? That's the entry. So you want to be entering on that candle close right here. And then the risk to reward on this trade could be quite massive, because you could have your stop loss right below that wick. I'd rather have it a little bit lower. And of course, if I would be swing trading, I would have it all below the reload zone. But this is more of a intraday trade, intraday scalp or whatever. So the last TP of this trade would be at the -618, right? So TP1, TP2, and TP3, the average R of this trade would be around 3.8, right? And the last TP would be at -618. And you'll see how this turns out. Well, I almost hit that 618, almost, very close. And then it starts retracing. So this is where we are right now. And as you can see, it came down and almost tested that high. But this is a good example of what I'm trying to show you and why my system works very well on all time frames. It's all about changing the perspective and using the base system, but then trying to adjust it to different time frames. And you can try this out yourself. Go into the 50-minute and the 5-minute and the weekly, and you'll see the same stuff, right? What is important that you do here is you should be able to select the time frame that fits your personality, right? Maybe you're a quick thinker and very calm and disciplined quick thinker on the lower time frames. You'll be able to trade a 5-minute to the 50-minute. And I can't do that because I don't know, I'm slow. I don't know. I can't do that. So when I start scalping, my equity curve just drops. I cannot scalp because of basically I think it's my personality that I almost become addicted to scalping. It's like the addictive nature of me kind of takes over, and I just start doing impulsive shit when scalping. Because my brain, my mind needs time to digest this situation and the information that the price action is giving me. And honestly, I also sometimes, before I take a trading decision, I need to take a step back and actually think through it, right? And analyze the situation, the chart, and my mental stability, right? I need to ask myself, am I stressed? Am I making this trade based on impulsive actions brought forward by a stressful situation? And you have to activate that logical part of your brain. And maybe you're like really good at that. Maybe you'll like, analyze the situation very quickly, but I can't do that. I'm just very, very slow like that. So I just better suited for waiting for that 4-hour close. All right. With that said, let's go into Bitcoin and actually look at this chart right here. Okay. So what I think has been happening right here is it kind of looks like we're in the massive range, right? It kind of looks like we're in the massive range. But I'm not putting a lot of emphasis on that. I'm not focusing much on that range. What I've choose to focus on instead is this top as a distribution range, right? We have a correction, accumulation range, rally, distribution range, and a correction with another accumulation range. What's interesting here is that if you zoom out, you'll see that these distribution ranges is actually higher highs, and the accumulation ranges are actually higher lows. So you're getting a pretty like a almost picture perfect market structure here according to like the Dow theory, right? So the overall trend, taking into consideration this, the overall trend is bullish. And now the local trend is bullish as well. This was obviously a downtrend. And this is why I've been so bearish on Bitcoin for so long, because I'm trading the lower time frames and the local trend. This is one trend, local trend, local trend, local trend, local trend. That's the secondary trends. Secondary trends and primary trend. I'm not trading the primary trends. I'm trading the secondary trends, which usually comes between the high time frame accumulation and distribution. All right. So my goal is to trade this breakout of the accumulation range up to the next distribution range. Where might that happen, you ask? You might ask us. All right, let's look at that. So I've been very bearish on Bitcoin, for quite some time, months, because I'm using a very simple system for Bitcoin, and that is when I'm below the daily 50, I'm gonna start looking at exiting, especially if it breaks down a range. And if we're below the daily 50, I'm gonna start buying if we're in a trending market. The uptrend broke here, and this is also the 2-day chart. It's the daily 50, but it's a 2-day chart. We broke the trend here, right? We did reclaim the daily 50 here and here, but we were still in a range, no trend, right? But what's going on right now is we're breaking out of this accumulation range, and we are potentially seeing a start of a new trend. Now, the trends that are above the daily 50, that's the trends I want to be buying. The trends that are below the daily 50, that's the trends I want to be selling, right? So I want to be buying the retraces of this trend, and I want to be trading this trend to the upside on the daily and the 4-hour using my system, while also being long on spot. And that will be based on entering when I enter the first 4-hour system trade, and then exiting when we lose the daily 50. Simple as that. And that could look something like this. We get a push to the upside, rounded retest of the range highs, perhaps confluent with the daily 50. That would probably be triggering a swing trade for me, and it would also be triggering a spot buying opportunity for me. Now, you guys know the take profit system that I'm using for my swing trading, but I'm going to be showing you my take profit strategy for my spot holdings on Bitcoin as well. And to find good take profit levels for Bitcoin here, by the way, guys, hit that like, and if you're new, subscribe if you like the content. Also, don't forget the giveaway that we are running right now. Check the link in the description. To find targets of these moves right here, I've added a couple of levels and I've added the fib tool. So you'll see here that the arrows and ranges, they are the same as the previous chart. But what I've done here is I've added two Fibonacci tools right here, and I'm using the Fibonacci retracement tool. So you can see right here in TradingView tools, you'll have one Fibonacci retracement, and lower you'll have I think it's the fib extension. Yeah, the trend-based fib extension, which I've never used, right? Well, I've used it, but I never used it. So what I'm doing is I'm not using the fib extension tool to find targets, but I'm using the extensions of the Fibonacci retracement tool, as you can see right here. All the fibs with a minus in front of it, that's the extensions of the Fibonacci retracement tool. The first fib is drawn using that low. By the way, I'm going to go through all the questions shortly. So if you have any questions, just fill them up in the chat on YouTube. I'm live on Twitter as well, but I can only really check the YouTube comments. If you want to have a more interactive experience with me commenting and helping you out personally, go to YouTube. It's a much, in my opinion, much better platform to view these lives. Anyway, the first fib is from that low to that high. You can see the 0 here, right? And the second fib is from that low to this high, right? One thing I really like here is that the current accumulation range is almost perfectly inside the long RLC of this move right here. It's absolutely beautiful, right? Anyway, so you'll see here that what I'm doing here is I'm trying to find Fibonacci confluence areas. And what that is when you add different fibs of different moves, and then you'll see that certain fib levels align perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but they align quite nicely. If you see that happening, you have a Fibonacci confluence area. And I'm particularly interested in the confluence area between the minus 0.236 and this minus 0.236. So that's a good confluence area, and it's confluent with an even number, which is 80K as well. And that would be my second target. And I also think that that would be the most obvious target if we see another leg higher, right? And of course, the 0% level, right? That's going to be the TP1 area. So if you add a box between the previous high area and, well, the previous high area and that high of that move, you'll find a decent resistance area right here. So this is going to be resistance, right? Make that gray red. So that's going to be resistance. That's going to be our TP1 with the minus 236 as TP2. And I do believe that the majority of the profit will be taking at 80K with a moon bag to be left for the 100K area, right? I'm not saying Bitcoin will go to 100K, but I'm definitely seeing a probable move of this next leg up for an explosive move up to the 100K area. It's very possible, right? And now, guys, you might be saying, like, why am I even talking about 100K? We're not even at 50. And it's definitely a valid question, because I'm not the type of person that says we're going to 100K. I mean, I'm not even saying that we are going to bounce at 45 or 46. We could just trade lower, right? We could just go back inside this range and trade lower, and we'll be back in a bear market, right? Especially if we break these lows. However, what we need to do is we need to look at price action, and we need to ask ourselves, given the situation that we're seeing right now, and given the price action that we're seeing right now, what is the most probable move? And looking at the higher time frame trend, the primary trend is still bullish, and the secondary trend is turning bullish as well. With that in mind, the probability of a move higher, in my opinion, is bigger than a move lower, right? And if this is the start of a new trend, I don't think the trend is going to end here. It makes no sense according to TA, right? I think this trend will at least move up to the last highs, right? And that's the question, when when do we break this level? And if we break this level, where would the high target be? And in my opinion, 100K would be the last target for me. So I would probably take like 25% profit, 50% profit, and then leave 25% for 100K. And if you do that, the average profit of this trade would be somewhere around 80%, so 80-90%, so almost a 2x on your Bitcoin position, which is definitely quite well. You add some leverage on that as well, maybe 3 leverage, and it's going to be a quite profitable trade to hold for quite some time. Obviously, if you're trading spot, you're not going to be adding leverage, but you know what I'm saying. So that's my breakdown on Bitcoin. Now, with that in mind, let's take a look at the this chart right here, where we look at the bit lower time frames here for Bitcoin. So this is the range, right? Let's ignore these levels. I don't need that one. And you'll see here that on the daily, by the way, we're seeing pretty good push here to the upside, looking very nice actually. So on the daily here, like there's no like I don't know what's going to happen, right? I have no idea what's going to happen. But if we retrace, we can also look at this shot right here. If we zoom in, you'll see that the 50% level is at 40, let's say 48.9. Could even be 48.9. So let's add 48.9 as a level here. So you see here that is a pretty decent resistance area, right? And we're testing that resistance area quite right now. You see, so you'll have a wick right here. You might see something like this, and this seems quite logical, right? You hit that resistance, and then you come back down to support, which should be around this area, right? And that would be, in my opinion, an insanely good swing trading, like swing position, right? Because the invalidation is quite clear. A move back inside the range, that would be your invalidation. So imagine if you get a decent entry right here, and you would have your invalidation like, I don't know, like 6 or 7% lower. So that's going to be your invalidation area, right? And then if you have the balls, you could use the same, what the fuck? You could use the same targets as I described earlier, right? So let's say that last TP would be 100K. So you have, I don't know what I'm doing. Why can't I? Weird. Anyway, so TP1 would be right here. TP2 around 80 and TP3, right? So the average R of this trade would be like over 10 R, over 10 R. Now, usually 10 R trades, they don't come along very often, like never. So especially not swing trades. But I do feel that if you do have that hodl mindset and you really do have the patience and discipline to hold this, because honestly, when you're up like 6R, you're making good money on this trade, you might tell yourself, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to take profit, right? But if you follow this and it plays out, you're going to have a plus 10R trade, right? Which is just insanely good. And I do recommend that you at least put some in this trade, at least put some, and then just put it away and just let it follow the plan and put alerts at the TP levels and just promise yourself, I'm not going to sell until it hit TP. And then what you could do is you could move your stop loss up. If it stopped, you're probably going to have it on your ledger, and then you're going to have a mental stop and transfer funds over to the exchange and sell whenever that alert goes off. But what you can do here is you can move your stop loss manually up with every new daily swing low. So let me show you that. I would like to see something like this, a nice rounded bottom with multiple daily candles. So if you buy here, you might want to move your stop up here. And the next one, swing low, move stops here. Swing low, move stops here, stopped out, right? That's what I would like to be doing. And this would be a swing low on a daily. You would be stopped out here. And that would suck because it then continues. But you could probably get in somewhere here. But that's the risk of using a stop loss based on a previous swing low. If you want to be really safe, use 2 swing lows lower. But that also means you run the risk of giving back a lot of your profits. But this, in my opinion, could be an insanely good trade. And we have April coming up. Yeah, I had to check the date, but yeah, it's April next month. And usually the seasonality, the word I'm looking for is seasonality, maybe, of the markets show us that April is usually a pretty good month. Now, of course, we haven't had Russia invading Ukraine every April, every year. So it's a slight, bit different this time around. But usually the markets move quite nicely, quite bullishly during April, and it kind of lines up with what's going on with Bitcoin right now and what's going on with the S&P 500, right? So let's look at that. So you'll see, S&P 500 is definitely moving very, very bullishly right here, hitting resistance right here. And if we can get above this resistance, I do think Bitcoin is going to break out as well. So this is the resistance I'm watching on the S&P 500, probably a little bit higher, probably here. If we can break out here and reclaim that level, I do think that Bitcoin is also going to rally and we're going to have a risk on market. And if there's no unforeseen, insane developments on the Ukraine situation, the markets are probably going to move quite nicely. My gut feeling says it won't do that. My gut feeling says it's going to break down and we're not going to be very happy during April. But I don't care. That doesn't really matter. We just have to follow price action. So everything kind of points in the direction that April will be a good month. But something in me intuitively says that the market will find a way to screw us pretty soon. But let's see. Let's just follow price action here. But if that happens, definitely, I think Bitcoin will break this area, this 48, 49 area to the upside. And if we can get a retest of 45 or 46 before that happens, we will have the entry, like a really, really good entry, because of the fact that invalidation here is quite obvious. Now, if you want to have a much safer trade and a much better invalidation, I would use the 40K I would use 40K as my invalidation level. I mean, it will still be a 3R to the highs, which is all right, I guess. And it would be still, a 6R trade if we do get that run. And if we do have a massive run to the upside and we're going to hit 100K, I think that's going to happen within the year, right? So I can't say, it's going to take 2 months or 6 months, but within this year, I think that we're going to hit that 100K if we start this next leg to the upside. So enough about Bitcoin. I think I've been talking enough about Bitcoin right here. Let's look at some altcoins. Let's see if we have anything interesting going on in terms of altcoins. All right, so altcoins, we have, let's look at the green list. I haven't really updated this list in quite some time, but I don't really have time to, this is a great comment. This is a great comment. And this is why I really love the approach that I have in trading. Yeah, so well, that might sound weird. the approach that I have is I enter a position and I have stop loss, and that stop loss gets hit, I'll lose 1% or 0.5% or a quarter of my trading capital, and then price can go as far down as it wants, but I'm not going to lose any more money. And that's why I prefer having my trading on a daily basis, right? Where I enter a position and I let that position run, but usually my average holding time is around 2 or 3 days, right? And my average holding time for my losers is usually like a couple of hours or up to a day, which means I enter a position. If it starts going against me, I'm out of the position, and then the market can do whatever it wants. I'm out of the markets, right? And that's why I have trouble with long-term trading or position trading or having spot positions on altcoins, because I've done that in the past. Bitcoin turns bullish, I'll just buy a shit ton of altcoins. I mean, I love this one, I love this product, this has a nice icon, this is a dog, I like dogs, I'll buy that one, and I'm just gonna hold it for in my mind I'm like, if I hold it for 12 months, I'm gonna become a millionaire, right? And then 2 months later, it's like, fuck, it's I'm losing money. That's not part of the plan, right? And it's just, it doesn't work for me. What I want to do is, like, I want to have a very clear system based on, like, a very clear trade based on my system. I enter that trade, stop loss gets hit, I'm out. I'm in cash. I don't have to worry anymore, And I'm making much more money that way than holding long term. It's just, some people will be much better at holding coins and holding product long term, but some people will be too impatient to do that. And I'm definitely that type of person that's way too impatient to be holding long term. But I'm gonna try, and I want to try on this. I really, really, really want to try, and because trading is all about finding your flaws and either not trading in a way that those flaws become apparent, or you work on those flaws to be able to integrate them into your system and use your flaws as a strength, right? Because if you can get over your flaws, you're going to be able to make much more money. All right, before we go into altcoins, I want to cover some questions. If you do have any questions, right, let's see. Yeah, I do have. I do still have it. I do still have my flower, actually, but it's in another room. It's, for some reason, I can't get rid of it. It has no leaves. It's just a stem, and it's really dying. I think it's getting rotten. It's just I have some type of connection with it, so I don't really want to throw it away. It gives me good energy. So I might have to buy fake leaves and kind of put it on the stem. You know what? I'll bring it in. I'll go get it. I'll bring it in. Give me a second. All right, here it is. Beautiful, beautiful plant. Look at it. It's dead. I don't give a shit. All right, Bitcoin is in a bull market. The plant is back. All right, more questions. See, I'm choosing the quality questions here. The stuff that matters. Yeah, it's amazing how yeah, good one. I mean, trading and psychology is definitely goes together, like the hand in the glove. In Sweden we say hand in the glove. I don't know if that's correct way of doing it, but yeah, you gotta have a good psychology to be able to trade. All right. Yeah, and it's exactly that, right? When you talk about the difference between, all right, my I don't know how the connection is with you guys, but it seems like the connection is a bit low here. So if you have any problems with connection, it's probably on my end. I don't know why. Don't take a crap in the blue cupboard. That's probably a saying, but I'm not gonna do that. I have no plans of taking a shit anywhere else than where it's supposed to be doing. I don't know. My shot keeps going in and out of the stream here for some weird reason. All right, so I don't have much time, so let's just go through. The charts here. So we have. I want to be looking at the majors. obviously we have something nice happening on Litecoin right here. So let's add some fibs here. So Litecoin hit but there's not much going on here. There's some decent retests right here. We have that level right there. We have the 618 hitting that one. So it's a decent man. You guys having problems with the short going in and out of the stream? Anyway, that's a good level on Bitcoin. I mean Litecoin. I think Litecoin, this trend is going to continue on Litecoin. I really do like that. I'm on the wrong chart here, by the way, so let's go to that one. Yeah, look at that. That's a trade we were looking at on Litecoin in the video I released. So, but guys, like, subscribe to the channel because sometimes I'll put out some videos with altcoin setups, and as you can see here, that Litecoin setup kind of turned out beautifully. I did not take that trade, unfortunately, but some of you did, I know, so congratulations to those. And here's another trade that you could have taken. You would have needed to have blind orders on the 618 for this to work out. Stops down here, TP up here. Will still be a decent trade, but the average R would be 2.4, so it's still pretty good. Now it's not possible to buy this hoodie. It's not possible. It does not exist in more than like 10 copies. It's extremely exclusive and very tight. It's way too small. I don't know why, but I ordered a medium, but I'm not a medium guy. I'm way too fat to have a medium. So usually after the live streams, I go up in the kitchen and I forget to take it off, and my girlfriend just starts laughing at me, and then the kids start laughing at me and calling me fat and shit. So I'm like, this shirt, I love it, but it brings kind of some negative. It looks good when I'm sitting here, but like it's so extremely small and tight that it kind of, yeah, beautiful. It's good when I'm sitting down, which is what I'm using it for. You know, I actually did go out on a walk on this because I forgot I had it on. So I actually did walk for like 2 hours around town with this on, and yeah. Pretty sure they looked at me and like, who's that? And what the fuck is the burb nest? All right, Litecoin is looking good. Let's, but you know, entry's too late here. Entry's too late. But there could be an entry here on Litecoin on the retest of the 50% right here. So we could be seeing something like this, perhaps, because if you add another fib, so I'll show you a trick here, right? So you guys know that I like using the RLC in my Fibonacci retracement tool, which is the area between the 0.786 and the 0.618. Now, when you have a bounce inside the long reload zone, you usually get a retest of the 50% level, and that's why I have the 50 on, right? So you retest the reload zone, and then it kind of gives you rounded retest of the 50. Now, the magic happens when the low time frame reload zone of this move is confluent with the 50%, right? So let me show you this. So we use the fib tool. I'll select only the reload zone from that low to this high. And you see what I mean? The low time frame reload zone comes in almost perfectly. Well, actually, it is perfect. Look at that. It is absolutely perfect with the 0.702, which is the midpoint of the reload zone, confluent with the 50%. This is really where the magic happens, because what you can do in this case right here, you can enter right here with stops below that wick. And now all of a sudden, this trade is on, has an average R of 6R, which is just, pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. So yeah, that's a little trick for you. Add the reload zone, look for bounces in the reload zone, and then a retest of the 50% level, right? So I really do like this setup right here. So what we want to do now is we want to see Litecoin not go higher than 130.87 on FTX, and then retrace down to the low time frame reload zone right here, and that's where I might actually put in some orders right there. So that's on Litecoin right there. Let's look at the waves. I don't know why I have. Yeah, I see this and I'm like, yeah, it's too late. Too late. Just move on to the next one. XMR. Well, you see, this was also one of the setups that I've shared in the previous video on our YouTube channel. Almost hit entry, but overall trend's quite nice. I guess, you know, sometimes you have to kind of front run the level, but then again, you miss it and it's going to be another opportunity. Right, we have XRP. Had a scalp going here, and that kind of turned out shit, but whatever. XRP right now is actually looking quite interesting. All right, so I actually forgot to... I'm supposed to pick up my son from daycare in 15 minutes. Fuck. That's bad. That's bad. Luckily for me, it's only a 10-minute walk away, so I can have this webinar for 10 more minutes, and then I'll run because my partner has the car and I have to run. I'll run to daycare, and I hope to God I'll remember to change shirts. All right, so XRP had a beautiful retest right here. I'm really liking that retest right there. All right, so also stochastics is pretty low in the 4-hour. We have that low to that high. Look at that. It's also hit the reload zone right there. Decent trend here with that breakout. XRP is actually retesting. Ah, god damn it! This is very nice. Should I buy this? We got the 4-hour candle closing in 30 minutes, and this is where I also look at this. No, never mind. So you have you will also you will also see a you can use, you know, fibs within fibs on this one as well, and you'll see that at least the 50% level here got hit. So it's a pretty interesting way of using the fibs here. So XRP, let's move XRP up. Let's move waves and XRM down. Let's look at Luna. So I'm trying to put together. I'm not going to be able to do much short-term requests here, but I will do this one because this is probably one of my private students, which is actually having his testing. Forward testing is actually better than my live trading, which is interesting. All right. Yeah, you have a level right here. So it's bounced off the 618. Now I guess that's that fib to that fib. Yeah, so it bounced off the 618, and it's also bounced off the 4-hour 20 EMA right here. And you have the stochastics RSI below 30, and there's a bullish crossover. Yeah. So that's the setup, right? I'm from Sweden. Sweden. So that upper level, right, like this level right here, would be pretty good for an entry. Now I'm seeing this and I'm looking at the chart and I'm like, it's probably not going to happen. It's probably too late. But I do think that I'll definitely add Wi-Fi here. But you can Wi-Fi. Is it Wi-Fi? Wi-Fi. And just one word of warning here. Like 75% of all the altcoins out there is going to look like this. 75% of all the altcoins are going to give you some decent entries right at this very moment. That does not mean that you're going to enter 75% of the altcoin market. In my opinion, you should only enter one setup, just one, because they're all the same. Look at Wi-Fi here. You look at Luna. You look, well, not Luna, but Litecoin, XRP, Wi-Fi. They're giving us the exact same setup. So if you enter 10 of these, obviously you're gonna 10x your risk because you're trading the same move. You're trading the same setup. What I would do here for Wi-Fi is I would go down to 1 hour. And this is going to be the setup, right? You can clearly see that you have a bottom formation going on here on 1 hour. Looks like an inverse head and shoulders. The resistance of that one would be right here. So that would be my entry. My entry would be this breakout, resistance, retest, right? So that's going to be the trade. Entry orders here when we have a proper retest. Stop loss below that wick. TP1, TP2, and TP3 up here. The average R will be 2.5. So that would be a decent trade on Wi-Fi. Now let's add the monthly open and the weekly open as well. Right, so that bounce right here is also complement with the weekly open. So very nice confluence right here. Very, very nice confluence. Hitting the weekly open, hitting the 618, 20-minute 4 hour. Everything aligns quite nicely here for a trade. And what I want to be seeing here is I want to see this 4 hour candle close up here. I want to see this current 4 hour candle close up here. When that happens, I enter buy orders here with a stop loss here. TP1, TP2, and TP3. That would be the setup. And I actually do think Wi-Fi looks like one of the better altcoins right here because of the fact that it broke above such an obvious accumulation range here with the invalidation area of the retest of the range highs. This looks very, very clear. All right, guys. They're probably going to be calling for daycare and asking where the fuck I am. And they're going to be calling me all sorts of names and giving me like the Father of the Year award, which try to try to find that work-life balance. Can't be watching shorts all day. I have a kid to take care of, right? All right, so that's it for me today. I would say focus on altcoins that are retesting that breakout level. So you see Bitcoin has broken above this range right here. And if Bitcoin is going to continue, altcoins like this one will probably start running. And if Bitcoin breaks out, of course, we're going to hit that level, right? Of course, we're going to hit that last level. So I got three main altcoins I'm watching right now. That's Litecoin, XRP, and YFI. With YFI right here is actually, I think, looking like the best one. All right, guys, take care, everyone. See you guys in the next live, and don't forget about the giveaways that we have in the Burbnest right now. So check out the links in the description below. All right, guys, take care, and see you guys in the next one.